We're only 2 decades into the 2000s, and there's already so much quality content to play out there. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 PlayStation games of the century so far. For this list, we'll be looking at PlayStation exclusive games only that have come out between the year 2000 and the present day. This means games that can only be played on PlayStation products, so no games that eventually got ported to other systems or timed exclusives. Sorry, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You seek my approval, do you?
I should warn you.
Huh?
Number 10. Until Dawn.
Beauties is not the word that comes to mind. Why is this even here?
What do you mean?
What the hell is a shooting range doing at the base of a ski lodge?
Dude, have you ever met Josh's dad?
This interactive cinematic horror game created an aura of tension and terror while also managing to make players feel that their choices mattered. Until Dawn shares a similar style to games such as Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human, and was indeed inspired in part by the former. While those games are great in their own right, Until Dawn perfects the formula.
Hold on!
You have a cabin in the woods filled with your stereotypical horror movie protagonists, and based on the decisions you make, they can either die horribly or survive right up until the end. The game's also got celebrities doing motion capture for the characters, like Rami Malek and Hayden Panettiere. It's an impressive game that lets your choices have consequences.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What the hell?
Boom. You just got mugged.
Number 9. Marvel's Spider-Man.
I'm gonna blow your brains out. That's enough out of you.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man has great comics, movies, and now a fantastic video game. This action-packed superhero adventure allows players to control Spidey as he swings through New York, taking down crime and fighting a roster of some of his best villains. The story is gripping and emotional, and takes Peter down some depressing paths. It seems that the writers of this game really get who Peter is. Though he gets beaten down over and over again, he always manages to get back up and do the right thing.
I wanted to, but I was afraid that if word got out, my family might be in danger.
Not only does the game have one of the best Spider-Man stories of recent years, it also includes some incredible gameplay that showcases Spidey's combat prowess, gadgets, and web-slinging. Insomniac and Sony recently released the trailer for Spider-Man Miles Morales, which looks to be a standalone experience coming to the PS5 this holiday season. Number 8. Ratchet & Clank. The original in a series of 3D platformers, this game launched the careers of two of the PlayStation's unofficial mascots. Ratchet and his robot companion Clank set out to save the planets across their galaxy from being destroyed. What follows is a delightful game with a charming aesthetic and an inventive, adventurous story that both adults and children can enjoy.
The problem is I'm stranded on this backwater planet and my star client is nowhere to be found.
Hey, we saw you on that info bot.
It offers an impressive array of weapons and gadgets that Ratchet & Clank can use to tackle the galaxy's enemies, puzzles, and mini-games. With sequels and remakes aplenty, and the fact that a new Ratchet & Clank game is coming to the PS5, it's clear that this game holds a special place in many people's hearts, and for good reason.
For instance, Viola, my soon-to-be patented grind boots.
Number 7. Uncharted 2: Among Thieves. This series by Naughty Dog is full of great games with jaw-dropping spectacle, fun puzzles, and emotional storylines. And while any of the Uncharted games could have made this list, especially the fourth and final game in the saga, Uncharted 2 feels like a classic. The game follows the intrepid Nathan Drake as he seeks the secrets of Shambhala. Uncharted 2 has graphics that still hold up even today, and its gameplay feels a lot tighter and more fluid than its predecessor. The game is a technical marvel for its time, and this enhances its cinematic-style gameplay that makes it feel like you're living out your wildest Indiana Jones fantasies. Number 6. Shadow of the Colossus. The original game was so beloved it was remade both for the PS3 and PS4, and it's easy to see why. This exhilarating game has you going out in the world, defeating 16 bosses, and saving a mysterious girl. Each Colossus is like a puzzle and boss battle rolled into one, as you figure out how to climb atop the massive beings and attack their weak points, listening to some of the most heart-pumping music as you go about your task. This mission begins to seem a lot darker as the game goes on, however, and the game manages to tell a compelling story of the lengths people will go to save the ones they love. Number 5. Persona 5.
Kill them however you want. Run wild to your heart's content.
This jam-packed JRPG is just oozing with style. Don't let the number fool you, it's totally accessible for new players to get into. Following the journey of Joker and his friends as he balances school with the vigilante life of battling in the metaverse, the game seamlessly combines fun role-playing, turn-based combat, dungeon crawling, and social simulation mechanics.
Wait, you don't know Kamoshida? Are you for real?
The result is an action-packed game with an incredible cast of characters that let you feel yourself bonding with as the game continues. Even if you're new to the JRPG genre, let alone the Persona series, this game will serve as a great first step.
Hey, let us out of here! I know there's someone out there! Damn it! Where are we? Is this some kind of TV set?
Number 4. Bloodborne. Fear the Old Blood. This spiritual successor to the famous Dark Souls series is just as difficult as its predecessors, but it isn't just difficulty that gets fans raving at this masterpiece like a bunch of blood-crazed hunters. It's the tight yet fast-paced combat system, the interesting weapon variety, the gorgeous art and sound design, the layout of the world, and intense and memorable boss fights, and the horrific and intriguing story of Yharnam. The world of Bloodborne is a depressing mess, with lycanthropic beasts and mad hunters roaming the streets, but as you progress and peel back the layers, you realize there are far darker and more unfathomable forces at play here. The game is the Souls formula perfected, a challenging but rewarding experience that will have your jaw on the floor. Number 3. Horizon Zero Dawn.
You're back. And with the Suncors, I see. And Dorit?
A, stalker got him. It wasn't pretty.
Set in a post-apocalyptic future where robot dinosaurs roam the land, Horizon Zero Dawn is perhaps the best open-world PlayStation exclusive of the past 20 years. Fighting robot dinos with a bow and arrow is an absolute blast. The world is gorgeous and huge, but perhaps most impressive is the story.
You know, I often think of the day I gave you that scar. It's a cherished memory.
What I remember is how the other children saw that you were a monster.
As the outcast Aloy, you explore the cultures of the world while uncovering the ruins and secrets of humanity's dead civilization, all culminating in some crazy revelations. Aloy herself is an incredible protagonist with a strong heart who goes through some emotional character development on her journey. Horizon Zero Dawn is a masterpiece in blending great game mechanics with a phenomenal story, and we simply cannot wait for Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation 5.
I must find a way to stop it.
Number 2. God of War. This reimagining of the series reaches godly heights. Take the bloodthirsty Kratos, who was responsible for the violent ends of pretty much the entire Greek pantheon, drop him into Norse mythology, and make him a sympathetic father. On paper, it doesn't sound as awesome a game as it turned out to be. The combat is satisfying, the music and visuals are stunning, and the story is just perfection. Throughout the game, you will see the father-son dynamic of Kratos and Atreus develop as they both risk it all against some of the most creative enemies out there. This is a beautifully touching story about a father and his boy learning to work together to survive.
Come. Gather your things. We are leaving.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Killzone 2, a fun, futuristic first-person shooter.
I mean now, goddammit!
Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriots. A great game from a great franchise. Infamous 2, a shockingly good superhero adventure.
Hey, good shot, man! Get back to the boat! Pier's breaking up!
Nice work, McGrath. That was impressive.
LittleBigPlanet 2, a cute puzzle platformer with a lot of creativity. Journey, a unique and emotional approach to cooperative gameplay. Want more video game content? Check out our gaming channel Mojo Plays and discover games and ideas you never knew existed. With more lists, breakdowns, and our latest series, Arcade Roulette.
Justin and John are in!
Oh.
Hey, is that Porky Pig? There's a lot of things being ripped off in this game.
Number 1, The Last of Us. While zombie stories are nothing new, The Last of Us shines in making the narrative centered on its two protagonists, Joel and Ellie. This game masters the art of getting you to care about these two flawed characters and their relationship to one another. It's also a very dark tale, and it will have you questioning Joel's choices throughout the game. The brutal stealth-based combat system adds to the game's sense of desperation and hopelessness. You can't run into most situations guns blazing, you have to consider your approach and sneak around to survive. The Last of Us is a phenomenal gaming experience with a beautiful story, and it can certainly be counted among the greatest games of all time. And with The Last of Us 2 just being released to critical praise, it seems that Naughty Dog has struck again with an incredible end to this gaming generation. In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.